Hello, and you're listening to FPcast, the podcast for Fruitless pursuits where we bullshit about the week in pop culture. I am Luke.
And I'm Jacinta.
And this week we're talking about...
Movies, television, collectibles, video games, comics, books, board games, and more.
Wet Hot Nothing.
FA. Sweet FA. You know, they say that no news is good news.
Yeah, unless you're doing a news-based podcast.
Yeah,
in
then
which case, it sucks balls.
It's bad news.
Yeah.
So, we are a couple of bad news bears today because we were just scouring the interwebs, the internet. We were surfing that super information highway. And not much happened this past week.
No, well, not much interesting to us anyway. I mean, there was that, you know, the funny Trump Turnbull conversation transcript. That was a bit of fun.
Was that a bit of pop culture?
Not really.
I guess they're like a couple of cartoon characters.
They are
political, Aruga.
Yeah. Bit of fun, but not worthy of us today. Though, to be fair, pretty much anything's worthy considering we have nothing.
We don't have a lot. Although we did see The Big Sick.
Yes.
So we will be reviewing that. So that is our one bit of meat on this empty plate. But I don't know, there's bits and pieces. We'll talk about Game of Thrones. Who knows where it will all go. I turned another year older. That was something.
Yes.
I'm
one step closer to the grave.
41 now.
Yes.
Got a sexy badger stripe in my beard like Sir Davos. So that's something.
Yep.
And this is our 199th episode.
Yes.
So next week will be the 200th episode. So if you can think of anything special that could happen then, we'd love to know because we don't have anything special planned at all. But what an achievement. We'll be giving ourselves a big pat on the back, audio style, at that point.
And I think we'll be seeing, what are we seeing? Valerian.
Yeah. Which I am excited about. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, it's shit, oh, it's dumb. And they say that about every Besson movie, but I think it looks beautiful, and I love that style. So I just want to look at the pretty pictures. I was thinking about this because I'd heard that some critics had said, oh, you know, I saw the film and if I hadn't been reviewing it, I would have walked out as the worst piece of shit, etc., etc. And I just think, like, let's put this in another perspective. Like, if you were in an art gallery and someone said, oh, I turned around the corner and I saw this painting and it was just like, it was the worst piece of shit. I wish I could erase it from my eyes. I almost stormed out of the gallery. You'd go, you're a douche. Get some perspective. I know there's time difference, but there's still like...
Looking at a painting for 2 seconds as opposed to sitting in the cinema for 2 hours.
Yeah, but think of the time that went into that painting. You know what I mean? Like, the things that are there for us to kind of enjoy. I think once you make the decision to see something, like...
I think if you're already going to an art gallery, you already have an appreciation of certain things. It's not like you go to a gallery that has, like, Monet and Far Side cartoons, Archie comics.
But we are not ill-informed cinema goers. Like, unless you really have just gone in and gone, Valerian, I don't know what that is. Look at that poster. I'm going to go and see that. Then you should have a kind of idea of whether or not it's the sort of thing that would appeal to you.
There's some pretty dumb people that go and see movies.
Yeah, but we have to, like, look out for the dum-dums. Make concessions for the dum-dum. Do they have a specially priced dum-dum ticket? I wouldn't mind if they had a special dum-dum cinema. Like, this is a dum-dum session. You can check your phone, you complain about that was the worst thing ever, you can...
Yeah, it's full of people watching Dunkirk and proclaiming it the best war movie of the last 50 years.
It was funny. I'm not going to name names, of course, but I did have this situation where I was telling a friend about it and saying how I was frustrated at the Christopher Nolan time jiggery pokery and how I didn't think it needed that gimmick. And I said, you know, I reckon for a lot of people, like a lot of mainstream cinema goers, they didn't even pick up half the stuff that happened there in terms of the jiggery pokery. And then I got to speak to someone else who had proclaimed that the movie was great and everything. And I said,
probably should have known.
Yeah. And Thor said, you know, this is one of the best war movies. Said that exact thing. And I said, well, did you have a problem with the timeline thing and the way that it was all jiggery pokeried around? And he was like, I'd have to watch it again. I'm like, you know, because there's the 3 timelines. It was shot really nicely. And I was like, yeah, but... And he was like, but weren't you, like, on the edge of your seat? And I said, well, there's a lot of stuff we saw the aftermath of. And then we saw how it happened.
How it got there,
so
yeah.
I kind of knew what was going to happen. Oh, yeah, no, I'd have to watch it again. Don't think he realised there were 3 timelines
How do you
happening.
not pick that up?
Because people just don't. They just don't.
It's like, oh, we've seen Cillian Murphy, like, you know, have all this crazy shit go to him, and then, like, half an hour later, oh, here's Cillian Murphy just sitting in a boat all happy. It's like, what?
Wouldn't know who Cillian Murphy was.
No, fair enough.
2, you know, just another guy, and then wouldn't have even made the connection. That's what I mean. Having a completely different experience of the movie, where they just think that's a different guy. They don't realise that there's some messing around with the timeline, Marty McFly. So there you go. Look, we just filled some time.
Sure did.
I'm gonna get a lot of that. If we find
find any kind of tangent that we can go down, we're going.
Any little laneway, we're gonna be scurrying down it and looking in the nooks.
Interviewing all the rats, asking them their favourite movies.
True. All right. Well, there was a little bit of news about one of our favourites being cast in something. That's something. And I didn't even know this movie was happening.
Neither did I.
It's a gritty reboot, live-action reboot of...
Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh. Like...
And all the articles were coming out saying, oh, well, like, you know, Ewan McGregor's in the movie as Christopher Robin, and then Hayley Atwell was going to be joining him. I'm like... Did I miss the news that Ewan McGregor was going to be in the Winnie the Pooh movie? Because a lot of these articles were reporting it like that was a thing that was already known.
That we already knew. I didn't know that.
I feel like I would have known that if that was a thing that had come out previously, but I did not.
And I'm thinking, okay, it's live action. Mm-hmm. So obviously Christopher Robin, he's wearing little shorty shorts, and he's playing a little boy style, sort of like Benigni in Pinocchio. Mm-hmm. And that makes Hayley Atwell's playing, I guess, Kanga. Have to get a Australian accent going.
Yeah.
Have to get a pouch.
Strap a pouch on.
Pouch already.
Yeah.
Or mixie.
Yeah.
For a quick little roux.
Uh-huh.
No, that's not the case. This is like getting the Hook treatment, right?
It is. So he's an adult and he's getting so bogged down in his family life, and Winnie the Pooh turns up to inject a bit of magic back into his life.
I bet he has a tie. I bet he has paperwork.
I'm sure he does.
I bet he can't go to the kids' baseball game, except it's in England, so it'll be a cricket game.
Or soccer.
It'll be a soccer game.
Yeah.
And they'll probably call it
because
soccer.
Americans don't understand
and not
cricket.
Football. Or they'll be like, well, yeah, I know. I've known Americans don't understand cricket ever since, 1989. I'm watching the Ninja Turtle movie, and Casey Jones says to Raphael, cricket, you got to know what a crumpet is to understand cricket.
Ooh.
And I just thought, you're so in a different place on this. Like, there are quite a few leaps that you have to go through before you're going to get to where you want to go. There's a couple of portal jumps because
one of the bits that did make me sort of laugh internally, not externally so much. In Big Sick yesterday is a bit where he's explaining cricket positions. I was just like, oh god, that is just going to go over so many people's heads.
But Americans love that. They love to pretend that cricket is a really crazy, confusing thing. Yeah.
Well, the positions are a bit confusing.
But you don't have to, like...
You don't need to know the positions.
All of that
to
understand the basics of cricket, right?
No,
like, that's
do
an
not.
extra layer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been watching cricket for probably most of my life, and I don't know all the positions.
Just hit the ball.
Yeah, and if you hit the ball far, that's better.
Go for a run.
Yeah.
So, sort of similar to baseball, right? Anyway... so he's playing an adult Christopher Robin, missing the kids' soccer game, got all the paperwork, he's grown up. Oh, but don't you remember your little friends in 100 Acre Wood? No, fuck them, I'm too busy. And then, knock knock, who's there at the door? Winnie the Pooh. Let's go on a magical adventure in the woods. Pantsless adventure. It's our little secret.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that Hayley Atwell's going to be playing, like, the wife or... playing
the wife. Now, I have to give you full credit here because when you told me this news via Messenger, I said, I believe, something like I'd forage in her honey pot, then I'd bounce her, then I'd get stuck in her entrance. Doing this, really acting up.
Yes, and normally I would shut you the fuck down
to get a response
and tell you not to be such a silly scallywag and leave it alone.
Being a bit cheeky, trying to elicit a roll eyes, you're the worst person, one of those things.
Yeah, which happens like very regularly.
Very regularly, but instead you picked up that ball. You ran with it, you threw some back, and I really appreciated that.
Yeah, so I said I'd let her bother me.
Yes. Deep cut.
Oh, bother.
And something about stuttering uncontrollably.
Oh, yeah. I'd stutter uncontrollably in her presence or something, yeah. So I covered off Pooh, covered off Piglet. You did.
I said I'd check out a Heffalumps.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Did you do a Tigger one? Bouncing on her?
I said I'd bounce her because he bounced people.
Yeah.
T-I-double-G-R.
Yeah.
And, but I think, by the time we sort of wanted to take her for a trip to Pooh Corner, it was... or play Pooh Sticks on the river, it was all over. So, yeah. But no, that's great. Look, Hayley Atwell in anything, especially something with a... Heffalumps and Woozles and Tigers and...
Yeah, especially something that we can see at the actual cinema.
Yeah.
That's going to be on for more than like a week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Need to put her in Star Wars, damn it.
And I really just like that Ewan McGregor's still getting work. Like, he's just, he's good, he's solid, he's just made some very shitty decisions over the last couple of years, but I think maybe Fargo has made people pay attention.
He's very enjoyable in Fargo.
He is,
yeah, and he seems to be having a lot of fun there. Look, he takes a lick and he keeps on ticking. And what else can you ask for in a Scottish actor?
Yeah.
We've seen him quite a bit this year, actually.
Yeah, he was great in Trainspotting.
Yeah, with Trainspotting, Fargo, fantastic master of accents and languages in Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Saw him in that. I feel like there's been other things as well. Has there been other things? Let's just say there's been lots of things.
Yeah, sure.
There's been heaps of things. If only there was some sort of...
Internet movie database that we could consult.
That would be good. Some sort of database for movies on the internet. Look, is this news? So, Bumblebee. I know you love the Bumblebee movie. And
it's already my favourite.
I think it's my job to keep you informed on what's going on in the Bumblebee movie.
Yeah.
Starring Hailey Steinfeld.
Your juvenile princess.
Which is, she's like in her early 20s. So, I'm very much looking forward to that. And I love Bumblebee. Who doesn't?
Me.
He's fantastic.
Yep.
Everybody's favourite Transformer. So, they've got John Cena in it.
Okay.
So, that's trying to recapture the, rock lightning in a bottle, right? This idea that... It's funny because all the sort of hero characters are played by people from other countries now. Like, America is constantly getting in people from the UK and Australia and stuff to come in and do some actual acting for them. And then America's big box office draws are wrestlers. And The Rock. I like The Rock, but after Baywatch, after, this guy, he's phoning it in. After the Jumanji trailer.
I think, he's really busy. I think he needs to take a step back and stop doing so much all the time.
He needs to surprise us.
Yeah.
But, that's the thing. When you're The Rock, how can you be anything other than The Rock? He can't play a mild-mannered, accountant. He couldn't play that role that, Matt Damon's playing in that Suburbicon trailer, where it's everyone's picking on me. I'm an ineffectual white man in a tie.
And I can't even see him making that kind of crossover sort of thing. A lot of people had been dismissing Channing Tatum for a lot of years until he was in Foxcatcher, and they went, oh shit, actually there's something there. But I couldn't really see The Rock doing that.
21 Jump Street as well, I thought, really, because people were like, oh, this guy's funny, charismatic. Whereas, remember, everyone just thought he was such a piece of shit when G.I. Joe came out. They were like, who's this fucking lump of nothing?
Yeah.
So much so that G.I. Joe 2 is, the credits haven't even finished and they've killed the guy. And they're all, celebrating in his entrails and having a great time.
Yeah.
But it's not like The Rock could suddenly, put on the shorty shorts and play Christopher Robert, and could he? I mean, that's a very different movie.
Yeah, I don't think The Rock could pass off as a pasty little English kid.
No. So he's limited.
He is limited.
He's limited. And he's even too big to be okay, well, he could be every superhero. No, he can't be Batman. He can't be, he's very distinct looking. So I don't know anything about John Cena.
News. The Rock is distinct looking.
There you go. That's why you listen.
Breaking news.
Why do I listen to the show? Because it has a intelligent perspective that
a unique
I'm
voice.
missing elsewhere. Yeah. So Bumblebee, to go back to my favourite subject, you don't have to wait long. Next year.
Cool.
It is December next year, but it's my Christmas present to you by way of Haley Steinfeld and John Cena. And
I actually don't mind John Cena. Like, I think he was very funny in Trainwreck.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
And according to this article, Bumblebee, this confirms he's going to be the yellow V-dub. So...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
At least for some of it, because it's set in the 80s.
So is it like I guess so. It's a prequel. So did Bumblebee talk? I guess.
I guess he will. I guess he'll lose his voice, just like Samuel L. Jackson will lose an eye in Captain Marvel. So I guess he'll be talking. He'll be the V-dub Beetle, which everybody has just wanted more than anything.
I can't the reason I don't like the Transformers movie is just because Bumblebee is.
I know. So this is all changing.
Yeah, I can't sleep at night. I'm glad that I'll finally get some peace.
Look, Generation 1. So there you go. It's like I still vividly remember when Herbie went bananas, and like this is gonna be a yellow V-dub. I mean, how much more bananas?
I hope they have I don't think I've ever seen him in a cartoon or anything, but I have a little Galvatron toy, and I think he looks fucking cool. So I'd like Galvatron to be in it.
I feel like Galvatron's already been in one of the Transformers movies.
Has he?
I feel like he has.
Okay.
I thought when Megatron died, he came back as Galvatron. And then he was Megatron again, or maybe Galvatron took over for a while.
But he didn't look like cool G1 Galvatron, though.
No, nothing does.
Purple fucking rad shit.
But is this the opportunity? Like, is this the time when it's set in the 80s where we can go G1 balls out crazy and we can get Soundwave as a boombox?
Yeah, I would be pretty down with that. Like, that would get me interested in Transformers again if it was just full on, G1, crazy colours, everything blocky and chunky, and that would be fun.
I don't know how you get around the fact that a boombox, can turn into a giant robot. I think there's some scale issues there.
Well, I think that they're just transforming giant robots, and I think that's enough of a stretch as it is, isn't it?
Or could it be a giant boombox and have Diego Luna DJing inside it? How about that? Instead of just Ravage or Frenzy or Laserbeak popping out, Diego Luna in a cowboy hat and a shirt pops out and spins some decks.
Yeah, I mean that again, that would just increase my goodwill towards.
See what I mean?
I hope they have Ravage, and he's cool, cute little panther Ravage, not that fucking abomination that was in Transformers 2.
I had one in the eye. He looked like a robot dick.
What?
Ravage. He had one glowing penis eye at the front of his head.
Did he? I don't really remember. I actually I have the toy at home still. I threw out all of my Transformers shit, and I kept a Ravage and I think a Starscream maybe.
I think I've got RC.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
The one lady Transformer.
She's got nice thighs.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have any trailers. I didn't see... The only thing I saw that I thought, this is going to be interesting, was, the Darren Aronofsky, I'm just calling him Darrenovsky, which saves a lot of time. It's kind of a ScarJo J-Law thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of J-Law, she's in this movie, his new movie coming out in September called Mother with an exclamation point. Mm-hmm. And do you know anything about this?
I do not.
I don't know much about it. The poster is this really interesting painted sort of lowbrow art image of Jennifer Lawrence in a forest. Everything's all pretty and she's tearing her heart out of her chest. Mm-hmm. So there's a 30-second trailer, but it's a teaser trailer for the trailer, which comes out in a couple of days. So it really doesn't show much. It's got a few flashes of, looks like it's going to be sort of drama, horror, disturbing craziness. Mm-hmm. But, got a good cast. It's also got Javier Bardem. Oh. So
the teaser trailer for the trailer is just such a stupid bullshit thing. Unless it's a big Star Wars or Marvel or something like that, then I don't mind it. But
I do. I mind it even then because it's taking out the rhythm of the actual trailer. And what's worse is those little snippets of a trailer attached to the front of a trailer where they show you about 4 or 5 shots bam, 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 and say, it's the Planet of the Apes trailer, and then they show you the trailer. And it's like, but wow,
just show me the trailer.
I'm already here for the trailer. Don't just show me a little trailer for the trailer when I'm already here for the trailer. It's fucking mad. It's like they do that at the movies too, when they're like selling popcorn or something, and they go, coming soon to this cinema, this thing, blah, 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 and they show a couple of bits, and then they show you the actual trailer straight afterwards, which has the same bits. And you're like, don't get all my bits in my baby bumps.
So you killed an extra like 10 seconds there. Well done.
Yeah. Oh, what about, speaking of which, what about that thing in the cinema we saw with the Valerian cast saying, like, basically, hey, come to our cinema, come to Greater Union and watch movies and stuff. It's fun. Thanks. And
they looked like there was guns off camera.
Oh,
their eyes were so dead.
No, it was Cara. It was
so upset.
Cara Delevingne, particularly. And I remember this happening as well during the junket for Suicide Squad. She just radiates contempt. She does not enjoy doing that stuff. And I can't blame her. It'd be the like dumbest shit. And you would have the dumbest person going, okay, so we're Greater Union Inaloo. We're not really Inaloo. It's just the name because it's a crazy Australian name. Anyway, like, can you just look down the barrel and say, I love to splash around Inaloo. Come and watch me in Valerian. And she's just like, oh, fuck, do I have to? So, yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, let's get this meat on the plate. We've been pushing it around with a fork. Let's dig into it. The Big Sick.
I think it's been out everywhere else for ages, so we're getting it late again.
We watched it yesterday. I gotta say, before we even talk about the movie itself, I was very shocked to find out before going in that this thing was 2 hours and 15 minutes. It was very close. It was 7 minutes shorter than War for the Planet of the Apes. And that had a whole Planet of the Apes to contend with.
It did.
So,
well, maybe not a whole planet. A small section of the planet with a couple of apes.
I'm cutting them some slack this week now that my rage has simmered down about that. But for my money, a comedy should be 84 minutes, and that includes outtakes in the credits.
Yeah,
I mean, that's how you do it. But this was produced by Judd Apatow, who is a really big fan of showing us how relationships evolve in real time. And that was the case here. That said, didn't feel as long as War for the Planet of the Apes.
No, it didn't. No.
We left the movie in a kind of silent reverence. We haven't talked about how we felt about it yesterday. We were going to record yesterday. We didn't, so we've had a whole night to let this Big Sick sink in. So I don't know exactly what you thought of it, so let me know.
I really liked it.
There you go.
Yeah.
The end.
Yeah, I think, like, us saying the Big Sick is really good is not really particularly interesting, because everyone's saying the Big Sick is really good. I will say that I was quite surprised by it. It didn't really go in a direction that I thought it was going to. I didn't really know a lot about it, apart from the fact it was about an interracial relationship. So when things kind of took a bit of a turn, that was very interesting, and the sort of relationships that were developed through the film weren't really what I thought, and I really liked those choices.
You knew someone was going to get sick, though, right?
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
But I didn't know in what kind of way that was going to happen.
That was kind of worrying for me. I think that made me uncomfortable in the first half, because it was kind of ghost dadding me, where I'm like, someone's going to cough or go, oh I've got a lump on my something, or I just fell over in the something place. And I was kind of like, we're all having fun. Like, I'm waiting for that person to have some symptom that suddenly makes everything go to shit. So, yeah, that made me feel a bit uneasy. I really liked it as well. It shouldn't be news that this is a good film. It's really well put together, really thoughtful, and did end up engaging me, like, in an emotional way. I did become quite attached and quite involved with it towards the end. That said, it didn't hit me instantly. It took me quite a while to get into it. Like, I was enjoying it, but it's not...
It's billed as a romantic comedy, and it is not. Like, it's not a laugh-out-loud comedy, and it's not even really particularly a romance either.
No, and I didn't find it, like, especially funny. There were a couple of times, like, I chuckled, but it's more that it's kind of witty and clever and sharp.
And they're using kind of humour in an uncomfortable kind of way. Yeah, just sort of reacting to certain situations. The humour is very sort of fast and doesn't leave those jokes much time to kind of marinate. Yeah. They're just bang, 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 on to the next thing.
And I think there's this sort of issue as well, which I don't know how you get around it, because obviously it's based very much on the true story that Kumail went through. But the fact that he's playing himself suddenly, for me, makes it a little bit harder to kind of latch onto at the beginning. I like that degree of separation that we see in other things where, there's a lot of comedians that play characters that have their same first name, something different, because you think, well, all right, so then it becomes about, this is something that happened to me, and look how I was very scripted and funny and witty and charming in every moment of my life, even all the bad ones. So I find that kind of a leap. And then because he's like a comedian and he's playing himself as a comedian, don't you think it creates this weird pocket universe? Because his girlfriend's dad is Ray Romano. And does Everybody Love Raymond not exist in this pocket universe? Shouldn't he be just as a comedian, holy fuck, you look and sound just like Ray Romano? And then you go, well, if Ray Romano doesn't exist in this universe, what other thing doesn't exist? Could there be a bit where, he buys a can of Coke or something and he pours it into a glass and all these little, iridescent lobsters or something fall out of the can, and you're like, oh, yeah, everything's a little bit different in this world. So it's problematic in terms of parallel universes, particularly where it comes to Ray Romano.
It really speaks to how good this movie is that we're looking at parallel universe paradoxes to find fault.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, that's just something I was thinking.
I did actually really quite like Ray Romano.
Oh yeah,
he's very endearing. He's kind of Raymondish, but I did really enjoy him and his little kind of journey through the film.
And that's not a criticism anyway, because everybody loves Raymond.
Yeah.
It's funny you mention that, because when I said it took me a while to get into it.
Yeah.
I found his comedian friends, his stand-up friends, to be just insufferable.
They are. And I think the whole stand-up thing, and apologies to anybody who does stand-up or loves stand-up, but stand-up just feels so fucking 90s. And whenever anyone talks about stand-up or stand-up is depicted, I'm just like, oh, for fuck's sakes. I'm extremely forgiving of people that they want to go into artistic things and put their energy into stuff like that. But if someone came to me and said, oh, I'm gonna be a stand-up comic, I would not be as supportive of that.
And the stand-up shown in the film, even his own film, it's awful and it's so cliche, and I don't know if it's supposed to be, but him doing his routine, for example, and I understand it's a lot like pizza, it's a lot in the delivery. But when he talks about in a horror movie, because I'm a coloured guy, I'd be the first one dead or whatever, that's such a cliche. We've heard that comedy in a billion places before. Maybe he invented it, but if he did, it's still kind of cliche now. So I thought a lot of the jokes and the things that are just nothing. But I feel like that with most stand-up. I'm watching it and going, yeah, you're a charismatic person, but is that really the joke, that there's a new heroine called cheese?
Yeah.
And people like cheese.
So many of the stand-up comedians that, I really love stand-up comedy in, the 90s and early 2000s and stuff, but all my favourite comedians have evolved and gone on to do other things, and, they're still doing stand-up, but that's not their number one thing anymore.
No, and having done theatre for 10 years and being around a lot of people that do stand-up or improv and things like that, I think watching it made me uncomfortable, because I just think it's such a desperate, horrible lifestyle. It's just this repetitive grind of going nowhere, and then when people do get somewhere, oh, I'm cast in this commercial, I'm doing this film, I'm doing this thing, this TV show, they're getting paid fuck all. And often it's stuff that's just dumb, revolting stuff. Suddenly I'm such a hero because I'm in this commercial for something. You're like, it's a fucking awful commercial. Why are you proud to be promoting that thing?
There's a lot of the Perth improv crew that have been in lotto ads. that I've seen. And I'm like, oh, it's that guy. Hi.
I've seen people come over from NIDA and be just like, oh, what have I been doing lately? Let's just say,
I've hit the jackpot.
Keep watching McLeod's Daughters. And it's like, how about start fucking watching McLeod's Daughters? Because there's nothing would get me to watch that. I mean, so it's desperate. And then you think, okay, but look at this in a meta sense. Like, he's been doing it, and now he's got this movie. And it's in cinemas everywhere. Great. But then you go, oh yeah, and Miles Teller got paid $9,000 and he had to learn how to drum in Whiplash. You know what I mean? So even then, it's like, yeah, you did this now, but what do you do next year or the year after? Or, it's fucking crazy. Plus, he's probably got he's not going to be Christopher Robin either. So, you know what I mean? There's limits, and that's got to be frustrating. So I didn't like that world. I didn't like those people. I even thought for a while, I like Kumail, of course. I even thought for a little while until the cell phones and the Uber came out that it was a period piece. I was like, it's like you said, the stand-up feels so 90s. And then, and his house was so shitty and his TV was a piece of shit.
Yep.
And then I was like, oh, this isn't a period piece. He's just poor as fuck.
Yeah.
Because he's a stand-up.
Yeah.
So, because he's, racing around to do his 5 minutes of cheese's heroin stuff. Yeah, God's work, essentially.
Yeah.
But it was when the parents came in, Ray Romano and Holly Hunter, that I became invested.
Yes, they were wonderful.
They were really good. I liked Kumail's family as well, but Holly Hunter and Ray Romano, two really great characters, really great performances. Fucking love Holly Hunter, and she was a maniac in this. I think that if you had to, and nobody wants to, but if you absolutely had to recast Princess Leia, have a look at Holly Hunter.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's husky, she's small, and she is feisty as all balls. And she's like only 2 years younger than Carrie Fisher. And I was just like, hard to imagine anyone else doing it, but if you had to.
And she's got that sort of little sort of speech impediment that Carrie Fisher kind of had later on.
Yeah, I'm like, that's the one. That's the ticket. So she was just a great character from like the way she sat. And
one of her scenes was my favourite scene in the film. Yeah. So
that kind of made me think, like, is this me going over that threshold age-wise? As I said, I've had a birthday where I'm like, I don't relate to these young people with stars in their eyes wanting to succeed in the art.
Yeah.
I'm relating to dad bod and glasses, sleeping on the couch. Like, that's like, oh yeah, this is a guy that I can get behind. This is something that I think, this is a lifestyle that I'm interested in. So yeah, it was like the old people came on and I was like, yeah, these are my peeps. This is good.
Yeah, that's a sad part of growing up, isn't it? When you watch movies completely differently. Like, I'll watch movies where, there's a meme going around at the moment that, when you're a kid, you watch The Lion King and you relate to, Simba and Mufasa, the good guys, and then as you get older, you realise that Scar really, really had it right.
Yeah, it's all just a matter of perspective, isn't it? All conflict comes down to different priorities, I believe.
Yeah, very deep. Well done.
Yeah, thank you. 35 minutes.
But yeah, no, it's good. It's really, it's so weird that it's taken this long. I mean, I'm sure there's been others, but to have a South Asian man as the lead in a romantic comedy movie.
Is Pakistan South Asian?
Yes.
Ow, I just got stabbed by a fucking needle on the floor. A sewing needle, if anyone's worrying about it.
Well, you shouldn't leave your fucking hypodermics on the floor, Luke.
Me doing cheese. In here, there's a potato chip down here.
Oh, God.
I don't know where it went.
Uh-huh.
Wow, there you go.
Yes, okay. So yeah, Big Sick, good. Go and see it if you haven't already. You probably have already seen it because it's been out for a while.
A billion years. How many stars?
I think I gave it 4.
I did too.
Just because it felt like really quite sort of fresh. And compared to other sort of... I mean, even though it's not a romantic comedy, but if it's getting marketed like that, then, compared to a lot of other things like that it'll be coming out this year, it's head and shoulders above all of those.
Yeah, I did spend quite a bit at the beginning thinking like, oh, I'm not going to like this as much as everybody else. I'm not going to give this a higher thing, but it totally won me over. By the end of it, I was very invested. I don't know where I have seen Zoe Kazan.
Yeah, she looked really familiar to me as well.
Yeah.
If only there was some sort of internet movie database.
A sort of database that just put everything together, and you could like maybe just search for people, and it would show you everything that they've done.
Yeah,
it's a good idea.
You know what I actually do?
Shark Tank.
I actually do wish that there was. You know how there's that Shazam app, and you can play it, and it will work out what the song is that you're listening to. Yeah. I really wish there was an app like that for like celebrities that do narration on documentaries. Because I was watching one yesterday and I was like thinking, because I'd watched Civil War like twice in a week last week, and I was really sure that it was Don Cheadle doing the narration on this thing. But then I was thinking, oh, is it Don Cheadle? Because I know that Samuel L. Jackson does a lot of...
okay, I see where you're going.
Does a lot of... No, does a lot of narration.
And they've both got very... a lot of bass in their voice.
Well, Samuel L. Jackson, like, if it sounded much more like Don Cheadle, but then it could have been Samuel L. Jackson if you really dialed down the Samuel L. Jackson-ness. Yeah. So
they both had a certain cadence.
They did, and I didn't really hang around to the end of the documentary to find out who was narrating it. But then, if I had this app,
like a database that you could like look up the documentary and find out who was involved in it.
Well, I didn't know what it was called either. It was just some Africa thing. It was just something with like they were hunting gazelles and stuff like that. Yeah,
it's just some Africa thing with either Samuel L. Jackson or Don Cheadle.
Well, they're both American, Luke. They're not African. I don't know what you're trying to say.
Oh, sorry?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, if anyone has any ideas for apps that might help us out.
App discussions,
That's our new segment.
Where are we? Not quite 40 minutes yet. All right.
Our new segment, Appetite for Destruction. Well, there is a bit of a link in terms of our television watching and our movie watching, because The Big Sick was directed by Michael Showalter, who is one of the creators, writers, and directors and star of the Wet Hot American Summer series. He is Coop in The Bad Week. And on Friday, 8 new episodes of Wet Hot American Summer set 10 years after the film dropped. They're only half an hour each, so we both have watched all of those. What did you think of this return?
It was okay. I do like Wet Hot American Summer. I really liked the first day of camp.
That was brilliant.
The original one, well, the original series.
Yeah, the original. The series from was only last year, wasn't it?
No, I think I might have been the year before, actually.
But that series was really great.
Yeah, really, really, really good. And I watched that before I watched the film. I didn't actually like the film as much as the series.
I'm still with you, 100%.
And I think that I probably liked this 10 years later about as much as I liked the film.
Yeah.
In that I didn't not like it. It's just that it didn't feel as good as First Day of Camp.
It has some good moments, but I think it's one of those things where they'd been wanting to do that first series for a long time and to get everyone together, and it seemed like a very exciting, fresh, fun thing. And obviously it did very well and was well received, but it doesn't feel like there's been nearly enough time to then go back to the well and get something else out that was going to hold up. Like, it certainly has its moments, and I did have some lulls, but yeah, it just overall didn't quite hold up. And I think that's the danger of, like, everyone just take a chill pill and just wait until it's right. Because I feel like the same thing kind of happened with Love on Netflix, which I loved the first season of Love. I think it was such a good show, and they were so sort of hungry for it. And then it does well, and the second season comes out, and it's like, you're just not ready yet. You don't have enough ideas, and you don't have enough things sort of have percolated enough to warrant doing this again so soon, which is why Master of None is so fucking brilliant, because that second season holds up. Like, he is on fire, that guy. I love what Aziz is doing. So yeah, I just think, you've got these new formats now, you've got new ways to get things made and to be seen, and Netflix is being so experimental. I just love to see those people go, well, you don't have to have a season every year or every year and a half or whatever. Like, we can do it when it's right, and Netflix will support it. So I'd prefer that.
Yeah, and I mean, I I thought the recasting of Bradley Cooper's character was really well done and quite clever, but then would I rather Adam Scott or would I rather just have Bradley Cooper back?
Yeah.
If they were able to work around his schedule. It was like, well, like I thought with First Day of Camp, I thought it was far funnier to have Bradley Cooper in a couple of episodes and then have DJ Ski Mask. That was so much funnier than recasting.
Yeah.
But I did appreciate them bringing back Chris Pine in just the most ridiculous fashion.
Yeah, the 90s thing was fun. I think particularly with Ken Marino's character, that was pretty wonderful, where they sort of took him.
And did a bit of a makeover.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So I definitely, if you enjoyed the other ones, you'd be foolish. You'd be a damn fool of a took to not go and give it a watch.
Yeah, and it's only a couple of hours to get through the whole thing.
What, you don't have a couple of hours? Look, that's the thing as well. We're talking about movies, art galleries, etc., and you were like the time thing and etc., etc. It's also this kind of inflated sense of self-worth where people go, oh, well, no, what a waste of my time. I just went to the movies and watched this thing and I didn't like it. That was 2 hours. It's like, you know what you're going to do if you're just at home?
Yeah, but
you're going to, play on your phone or your ding-a-ling or something.
That's the thing. If I'm watching stuff at home, I have no issues watching, I sat down in one hit and pretty much watched the entire Wet Hot American Summer, which is 3.5 hours or so. But then if I was like, oh, I want to watch a movie. Oh, I don't know if I want to watch a whole movie, but here, let me watch 3-hour-long episodes of a TV show. It's just a different, time allocation perspective, I think.
I just think don't be a ding-a-ling.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I want people to know.
If only there was an 80s ad on Australian television that instructed us on how to not be a ding-a-ling.
It talked about how ding-a-lings do stupid things and they don't think of others at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If only.
Can
someone make that?
Yeah, and put it on YouTube so we can relive it.
Yeah. Maybe do really kind of sketchy, weird animation as well.
I can't put we don't have any soundboard stuff happening because the iPad charger's fucked.
Here we go.
Alright, let's talk about Game of Thrones. Fuck yeah, Game of Thrones, the final segment of the show where we spoiler episode 3 of season 7. So if that is not your jam, then what's with the fucking attitude, pal?
We do this for free.
Yeah. Christ.
You should like it. You should just be fucking thankful that we turn up every week.
You should be fucking stoked, mate. So yeah. If you're not into that, thank you very much for listening. Go to fruitlesspursuits.com to find out everything that we're doing. Listen to Half Hour History. And also, there might be another podcast on the boil. Something we've been wanting to do for a while, and everything might be aligning. So, might be a good replacement to Book Was Better for a bit. But more on that soon. But do be assured that stuff's happening. On fruitlesspursuits.com, though, you'll find a link to everything that's currently available, plus links to our Patreon, where you can get all sorts of bonus episodes, a lot of Book Was Better TV if you've never listened to those, and also links to our Facebook discussion group. Chat to us there. All the shit, all the stuff, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it's available. Mm-hmm. Thanks to a little thing we like to call the interwebs.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones spoilers begin now.
So Jon and Daenerys met.
Finally meet up after all this time. Melisandre says, I've done my bit. I brought fire and ice together. And then she gives the camera a big old wink. And why not? You've earned it. After all this time, finally, these two massive characters sharing a screen together. The actors have never met before, I'm assuming. Finally getting to meet each other. And this sort of amazingly anticipated meeting went a bit like this. Hi! What's up?
Yeah.
So this White Walker's coming. Yeah, pull the other one, Jon, you dickhead.
Yeah.
No, it's true, eh? Bullshit. Fuck.
Yeah, look, I know a lot of people enjoy these characters, but honestly, if you're going to put the two fucking least charismatic characters in a room together, I don't know what you're expecting.
Oh, look, not even Tyrion, little plucker, could solve that one, could he?
He couldn't put some spice in there.
He couldn't even inject some...
He was like, I have made a huge mistake by vouching for this guy because he sucks.
And John's whole thing, like, he's not coming to bend the knee.
No.
Which I think, you know, when they're like, well, what difference does it make if you do, dickhead?
And he's like, well, what difference does it make if I don't?
It's like, dickhead. Yeah, you came all this way, John. Like, just do it. That's what she wants. And,
yeah, I mean, keeping in mind that it took her, like, 7 seasons to cross a little bit of ocean, and he took 10 minutes to travel from Winterfell to Dragonstone.
That's true.
So it wasn't that big a journey for him.
They keep dropping stuff, though, which is kind of justify that. Like, they go... oh, you know, she could have come over straight away and just done stuff, but she didn't because she wanted to free slaves and build an army and build this and build that. Or she could just go destroy King's Landing, but she won't because...
we've got to spend money elsewhere.
We're not there yet, basically. But, I don't know. I mean, you think about Jon, he's a young man, he's got... You think about his priorities. Yeah, he wants to save everyone from the Walking Dead and stuff, but he's going to need a queen at some point. And I reckon that's your best bet. That's the best that's on offer.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of a theory kind of going forward because, you know, the whole thing is that, you know, it's a Song of Fire and Ice, right?
Yeah. It's gonna end with them singing a song together. We know that. A duet.
And so everyone kind of assumed that the fire was Daenerys and the ice was Jon Snow, but it could just be much more simply that it's the dragons versus the White Walkers, which would be a little bit boring, but, you know, that's the way we could be going. But I was thinking, well, what if it wasn't Jon at all? What if a big battle at the end came down to Daenerys and Sansa? Because she is ice. She is a Stark. And she has more...
But she's not related to Daenerys, and Jon is.
Yeah, so?
So, well, that makes him more... That's more Destiny-ish. Like, they're the two sides of the same coin. With Sansa's just to the side, so she's not even in the same purse.
I think it would be... People are feeling like it's starting to get more predictable now, yeah? I think the biggest twist that they could have would be to kill off Jon properly.
They can't now, though. You can't do a fake killie and then go and do a real kill. No, it won't have any weight. They've fucked that. They can't. You can't go back. You can't go, oh, we killed him. No, we didn't. No, but now we killed him.
I think they should kill him. I still think they should kill him.
I'm
happy for Jon to just be deaded.
End with a duet. It'll be maybe like two strong hearts. We stick together like, and then she'll go like the honey, and he'll go the bee, and then they'll both go you and me. Or maybe like Afternoon Delight or something like that.
Oh yeah, they need more harmonies for that though. Tyrion would have to get in on it.
Oh yeah, great.
Yeah,
absolutely great. Well, like I mean, you know, he could be the other brother. They might all be related.
Yeah.
All three of them.
Yeah, well, because she'd be, like, if the theory is that, was it Rhaegal? Is his... Rhaegon. Rhaegal's the dragon. Rhaegar, sure.
Yeah.
That's his dad, so that's her older brother. So she's his auntie.
Yeah. Oh, this is like an Aunt May kind of thing going on there. It is. Hello. I reckon he should just go for it.
I mean, I know that royalty is full of inbreeding and they have no issue with that, but still.
Speaking of courting rituals, just this little tangent, which I'm pretty sure we can afford to say.
Yep.
Going back to the Big Sick. Like, I know that Westerners have difficulty with the whole arranged marriage thing. There's got to be, like, a part of me that thinks, wouldn't it be great to go over to your parents' place for a hot meal and then they, like, parade a woman out in front of you every time you go and have dinner as well?
It's just such less hassle. And I have heard of, like, you know, I've known people that have kind of had that sort of family thing and that they've had the choice. Like, they can either have the arranged marriage or, you know, do what they want, but... They have had that idea of it's just so much less hassle. Like, you don't have to go out and, like, this person is already kind of interested in hanging out with you. And half of that, it's just I guess the thrill of the chase is taken out. But, like, it's so easy.
Come over for a roast and a woman.
Yeah.
And I know there are rules, but, you know, it's not, you can't, like, go and sleep with them all or whatever. But we saw he was pretty flexible. with the rules.
And some of those girls were so cute.
They were cute girls.
Yeah, and like, I know maybe he didn't feel that he had a connection with them, but damn, dude.
Not even for 4 minutes. Anyway, so Jon Snow,
yes,
has been accused quite famously of knowing nothing. And I just think, like, his whole thing is, well, I got to convince you about the White Walkers. How about some proof, Jon?
Yeah.
How about bringing something along? Even like some paintings or a sketch or something. Like, didn't he have anything to... It's like, so there were White Walkers. I don't believe you. No,
okay.
Shit. Like, couldn't...
Yeah, and our whole thing is like, we want the dragon glass, and Daenerys and Tyrion are just like, oh, well, like, I guess. I mean, we're not going to use it for anything, so if you want to take our rubbish, then go nuts. But I don't know what the fuck you want this shit for, you weirdo.
Be so different. Like, that whole thing would be different if there were mobile phones. Like, if Jon could have just whipped out and got a bit of a recording of the White Walkers and then gone, well, what's this, hey?
I saw something the other day about, like, old people saying shit about millennials and, Romeo and Juliet wouldn't have used Tinder and shit like that. And someone was just like, don't you think that some sort of instant messaging service would have significantly helped Romeo and Juliet's situation?
I think it would have.
I think it probably would have helped them quite a lot.
And I mean, Jon, he could have, like, called ahead. He could have Skyped her.
Just sent a fucking raven.
She could have said, that's bullshit. And he would have been like, oh, okay, well, I'll get you some proof. I'll go get some footage on my phone and I'll send it over because there's, like, fucking giants and everything, mate. You're going to piss when you see it. But, just went over there like a big old dummy dum-dum. And, but really the star of the episode, well, I got to admit, I'm enjoying Euron Greyjoy. There's
a lot of Ivar the Boneless in Euron Greyjoy, just complete batshit insanity.
And he, not very royal what he wanted to do.
No.
He talked about sticking a finger in the bum of the Queen. Now, that could get your head cut off in certain history times. Suggesting such a thing. And then I thought that there was maybe the suggestion later on when Cersei went down on Jaime. I thought she might have been proffering a finger there. I think that might have been going bumwards. So I thought it was maybe a little bit of a clever juxtaposition. And that maybe Jaime likes a finger in the bum. Because something that you can say for Nikolai Waldau.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen The Other Woman, he just does the most fantastic diarrhea scene. Like he works that toilet bowl like Suzanne was watching.
If only we had another anecdote for Nikolai Coster-Waldau, but we don't.
I do. No, I'm getting there. Mining is a good term as well. Like, Suzanne was watching this video today, again, YouTube-y proof thing, of a busker using a soccer ball and doing all these amazing tricks. Someone's drilling on our wall.
Yeah, Jesus.
Doing all these amazing tricks. And I just thought the way he handled that ball, I've never seen someone handle an object like that since I saw Jaime Lannister handle that toilet bowl in the movie where he had diarrhea. And I saw a movie called Shot Caller where he's like a gangster and he sticks things in his bum.
Okay.
And then he gets them out on the toilet.
Yeah.
And I just think, like, his fascination and his ability to sort of make his bum a character and... it's like the Cat in the Hat's hat. It's like it's a bag of tricks.
Yeah.
He does a lot with it, and I thought, I don't know what is happening there.
I don't know.
What if like a glory hole suddenly appeared in this room?
Just pops out behind Amy Pond's head there.
And a little flopper snuck through it. Anyway, lost my train of thought, but good on him and good on Euron. I think we've got to call him now Euron quotation marks, finger in the bum, Greyjoy.
Yeah.
What a champion.
Well, I mean, if he was a Viking, he would need his warrior name, and it would be Finger in the Bum.
Finger in the bum, that's right. But the real star was Olenna Tyrell.
Yeah.
That final scene was wonderful. She was a tough old bird right to the very end.
Yeah, though I think, if you don't see someone die on camera on Game of Thrones, I choose to believe that they're not dead. Because if anyone in the Seven Kingdoms was likely to spend her entire life getting immunity to every poison that she could think of, fucking Olenna would be doing that.
She was just so tough. She just wasn't afraid. She was like, is it going to hurt? And he was like, no. And he was being all compassionate. And then she was like, great.
Yeah, Jaime was being so nice. And then she just sticks the middle finger right up at him.
And she was like, oh, by the way, I killed your kid, fucker. Tell your lovely fucking sister wife. And he was like, ooh, and his lip was trembling.
Poor Jaime. Every time, you think, oh, Jaime's a shithead, and then he'll have, some storyline that will give him his humanity back. And you're like, I really like Jaime, and then Jaime will be a shithead again, and then just fucking Jaime just keeps getting stomped on by everybody.
I don't know what's going to happen to these Lannisters, but also I enjoyed Cersei just getting to be an evil fucker down in the dungeon, taunting and killing and torturing everybody.
The only good sand snake is a dead sand snake.
Sucks to be a sand snake right now. Character clearing house. And bloody your mate, old
which one?
What's his face?
The pedo one or the crusty one?
The crusty one.
Yeah.
He's fine now. They're like, oh, you're fine, you're cured, mate. You're right to go.
Yeah, and I bet he'll go off, and Daenerys will 100% new phone who diss him. He'll turn up and she'll be like, oh yeah, what was your name again? And he'll be like, Jorah.
Well, again, they've already done it. She banished him, and then he already came back and turned up and was swashbuckling and being a savior.
Yeah.
In the arena.
And then she sent him away because he was crusty.
Yeah.
And told him to stop being crusty. And
stop being so crusty.
And now he stopped being crusty. And, she said that because he was like, I love you. And she's like, go away.
She said, I like a crusty cob, not a crusty knob.
And so he'll come back and she'll be like, oh, shit, I expected you to be dead, old man.
Should be with John, maybe, if they ever have any chemistry.
Which will be never.
Who knows?
Yeah, and Sansa's... Oh, was this the episode where Bran turned up?
Oh, yeah.
Fucking Bran.
And Bran, it was she's like, what's the three-eyed raven? And he's like, oh, some creepy cryptic things. And it's just...
You wouldn't understand. You're just a girl.
It's really complicated. No, Bran, you could do it in a sentence or two instead of being a creepy cryptic fucker.
Yeah. Bran's
teenagers.
Bran's dumb. I don't like Bran. So the Sansa...
I can walk into animals and now I am the three-eyed raven.
Yeah.
Yeah, even that. Better than what he said.
Pretty much, yeah. And, Baelish has been creepy. Did Jon threaten Baelish in this episode or the last
that was the one before. Okay. So... Baelish it's just this dance they're doing now where Baelish is like, have you ever... And she's like, shut the fuck up.
She's definitely getting a lot more power where she used to be a quivering little girl, and I don't think he's coping with that very well.
Her sass levels are climbing.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
She's a sassy one.
Yeah, and I think she's... Because if Bran turns up again, then wouldn't that make... Well, yeah, she said that Bran would be the Lord of Winterfell, and he's like, I don't want to do that.
I'm a three-eyed raven.
Yeah. And so it would mean that it would come down to... No, it would still go to Jon, wouldn't it? Because they wouldn't have the maternal line. It would all be paternal line.
We were watching it, and he's like, I don't want to be that. I'm the three-eyed raven. And she's like, what's the three-eyed raven? And I go, it's my band.
Yeah.
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 It's perfect.
Yeah, good. There was all those leaks and shit. Have you read any of the spoilers?
Nah.
No, I've stayed away from them.
Well, I can fucking wait a day.
I don't know, like long-term spoilers.
There were leaks like about a year ago about what was going to happen in this season.
Yeah, no, there was the HBO hack, and they've released like scripts and spoilers and all sorts of shit. Yeah, no, I've stayed away from that, but yeah, I mean, I have my suspicions about who they're gonna dispatch.
I think it's going to be pretty straightforward from now on. I'm not expecting anything to...
Which is a shame. I think they... Yeah, I don't know. I just think they need to kill Daenerys or Jon to make it not seem like they're both so invincible.
But you can't invest that much in them only to then get rid of them. So, like, yeah... They're there for the long haul. They're the fire and ice. They're going to do their song. Just enjoy their song.
Yeah, but... Yeah, like it's sort of...
They might do the Humpty Dance.
It's at this point where, like, I have no problem with either actor, but if they are investing so much in these characters, they're just the two blandest, least interesting characters to watch in this whole series. Like, everyone else is so much more interesting. Like, Sansa's growing, and even Krusty Jorah's doing shit. And I love Baelish because he's a creepy pedo, but at least he's interesting.
I like Daenerys still. Like, I like to watch her, but I think that from the bushes outside the house. But I think that she's someone that's just been, you know, ever since she entered season 1, when she comes out of the fire, she is Endgame. She's the person that's going to come in and rattle everything. We know there's going to be a big battle with the dragons, and they're going to attack. And we've just been treading water for years about it. But I think the thing is that, you know, there's been plenty of times where a season has ended with Daenerys being in a position of power again, and everybody's felt uplifted and gone, oh, fuck yeah, here we go. And it hasn't happened.
And then she takes 3 steps back and then spends a whole season getting to power again.
That said, I think that when she does get going, it's going to be easy enough for us to be, oh, fuck yeah, let's do this again, you know? So she will, but... And I mean, they're making excuses for it constantly. It's obviously something they're aware of. Because as I said, he's always saying, like, well, we could do this, but maybe not just yet. You don't want to rule a city of ashes, you know? It's like, yeah, what does anybody want anyway? Just to sit in a different chair in a different room? Mm-hmm. Fuck that.
Is that it?
That's it. God, we did it. We got there.
We limped over the line.
We did it. You got a show. Hooray. Next week, episode 200. It's got to be better than this one.
Yes. Well, we'll have Valerian to talk about, and maybe plus or minus Wind River, depending on how we're travelling, but definitely Valerian.
Yeah. So, thanks.
Thanks. We'll see you next time.
Bye.